Here I am doing a shadowboxing kickboxing workout. Basically just combining karate techniques into my training while I'm wearing a fitness mask. One of those masks that fitness practitioners wear when they want to work on their endurance. I am just doing I want to say probably 6 to 7 rounds of shadowboxing. I probably didn't do it all in my video. I probably did. I don't know. But I'm just basically just putting combinations together. Moving around, staying moving. Working on my speed, on my techniques. Working on the footwork. Working on hand punches. Working on my breathing while I'm wearing that mask. And it helps you stay in condition with your lungs, especially when you're training, endurance, and shadowboxing is a great workout. Even in shadow kickboxing it is. Same with shadow karate. And that's what I'm pretty much doing right now. Kind of using karate movements into my shadowboxing, and it's kind of doing basic drills. I'm not really doing anything fancy. A lot of people like to do a lot of the fancy stuff. Me, I'm not really all about the fanciness. I'm more about okay, I want to get the job done. And that's the type of styles, the fighting that I like to do. Is that I try to get the job done, and when it comes to fighting, but since I don't really have no one to really fight, since I don't really have no one to really spar, I just train just to stay in shape, stay motivated, just to feel good about myself. There is nothing particular about it that on what I do. Most people may say, what are you doing? Do you even know what you're doing? I do know what I'm doing. If I didn't know what I was doing, I switch it up for my channel because I'm not just strictly martial arts. Even though my martial art is what I do for practice. It's a great way to learn self-defense. It's a great way to learn humbleness, peace, tranquility, all in the same manner. When practicing martial arts in its own way. When I do practice martial arts, sometimes I do kind of get carried away of going from one style to the next. I should just really stay with one style, but on my tired days, I kind of stick with boxing. But when it comes to the days I have more energy than norm, I do my karate training, and it's I do keep up with my karate, and that's my other main art that I do. Even though I said I was going to train in gi from now on, but I try to mix it up, wear normal clothing. Because really technically in the reality of things, you ain't gonna be in your gi 24/7. So I do train in regular clothing. Most people train in their gis. I'm not really a gi person. I try to just train in regular clothing, but every once in a while I do go back to my older roots when I am training the traditional martial arts. Go back to wear the gi, but I kind of like the no gi because you ain't gonna be in your gi while training. That's another thing I like about martial arts. You get trained in any way or form. You get trained in normal work clothes, regular clothes, the clothes that you wear. You don't need to have fancy clothing to train in martial arts. That's the thing that most people say, oh, you gotta have a gi to train in. You gotta have this, you gotta have that. Um, Really, technically, no, you don't. A gi is beneficial to have when training, because you don't have to worry about dirtying your regular clothing. That's the only thing about wearing a martial art gi. But um, here I'm just wearing a t-shirt and a pair of shorts. It's nice out a little bit. And it's been like 40, like 50 degrees out in my area lately, off and on. 'Cause it's getting closer to summer and everything else. And but as like I said, this is just a martial art video. Me just doing some shadow karate work and keeping up my technique training and everything else, and working on the speed of them, working on the perfect execution of them, working on my footwork, all the etc. Moving around, working on my wind, um, working on my speed for one thing. I've been working on too much on power striking on the heavy bag, and I do try to blend the heavy bag into shadow boxing, but shadow boxing I really do not like that much because I heard that too much shadow boxing is bad on the joints, which too much bag hitting is bad on the joints too. Um, but you gotta balance it out. That's the thing. That's the thing. You just gotta balance it out when it comes to training in martial arts. What you want to do in your style. The way I see it, when you're doing martial arts, you're you're trying to figure out what style suits you best. And to me, what I found out in my system that I study when um, when I was going to the dojos, um, I learned I was doing taekwondo in both schools, but the way I would train like a karateka fighter, and people would always get mad at me because they say you're doing that breathing thing like how karate people do. You need to quit doing that. And I'm like, well, I said this is how it's supposed to be done. And I said this is how the old masters did it. And so, and my instructor agreed with me on it, and he told the other students that I was right. And back in the old day, they did that noise, what he's doing in his techniques, and with his breathing, and going up and down the mats when doing techniques in the air and stuff like that. It's supposed to help with power. It's supposed to help with maybe the speed of your technique. Um, but but when you breathe and when you're doing martial arts, it helps you focus more, and it keeps you more calmer in a stressful situation. And as you see right through the middle of the video, I was doing a little bit of Wing Chun to the mixture of the mix, and for a little bit, but I didn't stay with it. I kind of like I wanted to stay with Wing Chun for a little bit. Um, when I was doing my training up there in Kansas City, I only, like I said, I only did a month of it. It was free, but I ended up moving, but I still kept up with some of my training that I learned out of the class for the whole month. And but what I didn't like about the guy that he would only taught one day out of the week, and he always thought that was beneficial. And but I decided to, okay, well, since I'm moving, I'm still gonna keep up with what I learned and everything, and just do it on a regular basis when it comes to training and everything else, and what I do into my system as well, and I have had people call me the next It Man when I do spar, or when I do fight, and they say I'm like Donnie Yen off It Man or off of Flashpoint when it comes to speed wise when in actual combat. My buddy Quentin, he actually said that about me too. He's like, you remind me of Bitman, or like the way how he said I remind him of Cheetah off Dragon Ball Z, because I always charged in at my opponents, and that's what I always did with him, because I knew he was a kicker, so I just about his height and everything, and so I went in and I started charging in real quick and used strategy and everything, and used the stuff that I made up and drills, and I made it work. And so what you see in my training, it does work. You just got to apply it, you got to use it, you got to be able to adapt to different situations, and that's what I'm trying to do. With that X block that I did there a little bit, and it's basically redirecting a kick or an overhand strike above the head, or if somebody's supposed to have like a knife and they try to come at you, you can block it or whatever that way. That was the only technique I have not used in fighting, is the X block, but I have used the other blocks and they seem to work really well. Maybe in the future I might do the X block on a sparring, but it leaves you wide open, so I don't really like to use it. I've done it once, just messing around with a friend, and it did leave me wide open a few times, just messing around with him, but that's the only reason why I don't like using the X block. But only if it's like for like, if you're just trying to sweep the leg out for like a front kick out of the way, or if a person comes at you with a knife, you can like use the X block if he's coming straight at you with a straight stab, and then do a counter move with it. But it's like I said, you gotta just be creative when training, do your own thing, and just be yourself when you're training. You're not really trying to be anybody else but yourself. Don't try to be anybody that you're not. For a while, I was on this, when I was younger, doing the martial arts, I wanted to be like Bruce Lee, and I wanted to be quick, I wanted to be fast, and yeah, that was good motivation, but I just learned to just be myself when it comes to training than to be like Bruce Lee, because I'm not Chinese, I'm not part German, and I don't have his genetics. So he is an inspiration. A lot of people don't like Bruce Lee because most people say he's not a fighter, he's an actor. Well then how come he's famous in what he does? Well then, it's because he's a fighter, he's a martial artist. He wouldn't have books out on a system for everybody to learn in the martial arts of Jeet Kune Do. He is a master in his own art. Too bad he is dead, but if he was probably still alive today, he would probably be teaching. He probably wouldn't be doing any filming. He'd probably be teaching more than he would be doing film, but he'd probably help with the choreographer on films. but he probably wouldn't be like doing movies like Jackie Chan and all of them. But that's just my theory. But he might be still doing it. I don't know. But I'm just saying, just train hard, train smart, do your research, and on what style you want to do. Your style will come to you on when you train in it. My style came to me over the years when I started doing karate. I realized what style I was really good at, and when I started using my hands more into fighting and training and stuff, mine was more of like the boxing aspects of it, and so I just got really good at boxing. So I just started to blend my boxing into karate and stuff like that. So there you have it. You can always mix your styles up together, make it more effective. That's what Jeet Kune Do is. That's what Jeet Kune Kwan is. It's kind of like an intake off of Jeet Kune Do, but it's not really Jeet Kune Do. It has Jeet Kune Do concepts, but it's my style of karate that I do. Because it has 2 striking arts and it has 1 kicking art. So there you have it, folks. Seth McDonald 4 as Seth Martial Art Fitness. Please hit the like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video. So like I said, this is just a shadow karate workout video. Download the interval timer. I do 3-minute rounds with a 30-second rest. You can take a water break when you need to rest if you have to. But just work your way up to. I would start out with 3 rounds at first if you're not used to it, and then work your way up to 4 or 5, and so on. I have done 10 rounds before, but just not on video because it just makes the video longer. So I try to keep my videos short, under 20 minutes to 15 seconds when training. So there you have it, folks. Seth Martial Art Fitness. Stay moving, stay active. That's all that matters when training. At the end, it'll all come to you when you need it in a real fight. So there you have it, folks. Seth McDonald 4. Hit the like, subscribe, leave a comment, and I'll talk to you all later. Peace.